Hey guys, we're going to build a character this week, so let's go ahead and get started. I've already set up my reference, as you can see. If you look up here in the corner, there's my reference image, and then there is my artwork layer, which you should know how to do already. So the idea for this week is to learn to use the pen tool. Let's go ahead and get started. This is the pen tool right here. Every single character, everything that we work with in here, every time we're translating somebody, it's going to be different. So there are different approaches to each of these. One of the things that I like to do a lot is just to do an overall silhouette for these guys that have these really distinct, clear outlines, like Patrick here. I picked Patrick because he's obviously related to me. Oh, whoops, I forgot to mention, as you saw in the videos already, zoom in real close, turn off your fill, give yourself a nice bright colored stroke, and get started, right? So here we go. Now these shorts I'm going to treat separately. Notice I'm not trying to be perfect here. I don't really have to. Yes, I could use a brush or something else like that, but this week we're really trying to get good with the pen tool. We'll look at this huge, gigantic gap I have going on here. Isn't this nice? Watch this. I'm going to hold down the control key and drag this end down a little bit. Just like that. Isn't that nice? Okay, and work my way over here. Here we go. So I'm working on the pants first. Really, actually, if I go like this, then hold down the control key and go like this, look at all that I was able to do. Oh, yeah. But as you learned already, the technique I suggest for students at the beginning is sort of like this. Just keep pointing the direction you want to go. And then as you get better, you'll be able to do some of the fancier stuff that you see me doing here. Look at this. I'm hold down the control key, drag that back. Oh, yeah, look at that. Looking good. So there are those shorts, the basic shape here. If I don't like something, I'll hold down the control key and come back and maybe make little adjustments like right there. But again, no one's going to be looking at the original source photograph. So as long as you're kind of in the ballpark, you don't need to worry about it too much. So this stuff that's on the inside right here. In fact, let me get the white arrow here and fix that. All right, there we go. Again, don't be a perfectionist like me. Here we go. Back to the pen tool. So there's a whole section right here that I can grab. A couple different approaches I actually can take at this point I want to mention. I mean, there's more than one way to skin this cat. Who came up with that skin a cat concept? That's pretty disgusting. Wasn't me. All right, well, sorry I used it, okay? I would never want you to skin a cat. Who skins cats? Seriously. If you know the answer to that, don't answer it. Hopefully it's not you. All right, so what I'm going to do is just grab this section here. So my goal is that this part's going to be black, right? That's going to be black. And that this part right here, this is a little green shape. Great. Perfect. There we have it. Work my way around here. Oh, beautiful. Hold down the control key to drag this back. There you have it. I got this shape selected. And, whoops, I didn't close that. Make sure you close your shapes. See that? Even I make mistakes. Can you believe that? Aren't you shocked? Let's work my way around right here. Again, we're just grabbing this shape. I know I have this little piece right here that looks like I'm making a mistake, but I'm not. You'll see later. I'm not messing this up. All right, this is one of those situations where there's a corner. I never really like to put points on corners. Yeah, I do this little trick here. You'll see. Here it is. Here's the trick. Okay, that was embarrassing. Here's the trick. It goes like that. See? I don't actually make the corners, put a point on the corner. I'll always do that. You'll see me do that again in this video. Very common. Here we go. Work my way around. There we go, right there. You're probably asking me, at this point you're like, oh, why aren't you acknowledging the fact that there's that black line right there? Because you'll see. You'll see. Again, in case you're wondering, are you really going to do this whole dude? Probably not. Probably not. Just doing some sections of him so you can get the idea of how this works. All right. In this case right here, I kind of butchering things slightly. Let me back up a little bit. I'm pressing Control Spacebar a lot, as you can see. All right. There we go. I'll come back and fix some of this. I'm being a little bit dramatic and not. Well, watch this. I'm holding down the Alt key and breaking this handle and pointing in this direction I want to go because I want to go back down. Being a little bit dramatic because I want to have control over these shapes, and if I do the method that I taught you guys, I'm not going to have as much control as I want to quickly do this video. You might be like, well, what do you mean dramatic? Well, I mean the fact that if I had put a bunch of anchor points here, then I couldn't have done that. And if I put a bunch of anchor points here, I couldn't have done that. That these little moves are a lot harder if you have a million anchor points. But I understand that students starting off are going to have a million anchor points just because they're not comfortable yet with these tools. And that's okay, no judgment, no judgment. Maybe a little, but not much. Alright, let me move that down. Not bad. Not great, not bad. Again, you have to keep in mind that people are not going to know the reference like you do. Like, we're very intimate and we're very aware of our references and what we're using. And we think about getting all these lines correctly, but the truth is we just want this black line to look decent. And I don't know why I can't get it to look right here, so I'm just going to just stop. There we go. That's good enough for me. All right, perfect. So I mentioned this black line right here. What I'm going to do is just go like this for this black line. Literally, I'm just making a line. And this is just going to be a stroke like that. Right? That's all this is going to be, is a stroke. That's all I want it to be. Watch this. I'm holding down Control. I'm going to modify that slightly. Modify that slightly. Let me get the color guide out of my way. Great. And over here, this is a trick of mine. I don't need to close this shape, so I'm going to press the Control key and then click. And what that does is it just gets me out of there. The other method that I could have used was go select another tool, but that's too much work. Alright, so this right here, I'm going to thicken up this stroke. So I'll go over to Properties, and take the stroke thickness way up, just like that. And then, here's a trick of mine. I want to turn this into a regular shape. So I'll go to Object and Expand. See where it says Fill and Stroke? Yeah, the stroke isn't real, it's just an appearance, so we just got rid of it. So how do we cut this off right there? Right, this is a chance to use a shape builder tool, which we talked about last week. But here's the shape builder, it's right here. Our friend, the shape builder. Shift M will get that out for you. And then if you hold down the Alt key, see how it says at? There's a plus sign beside this, just hold down the Alt key and you'll get a subtract. And look at that, I got myself a nice little piece right there. And over here, nice little piece right there. Looking good, looking good. I like this. Basically, I have all of his pants except for the little accessory that he has going on right there, which is this little shape. And I think that's probably pretty integral, so I'm going to try and grab that. If you wanted to, I mean, for some of this, some areas you could use a different tool like the blob brush or something, but this week really is all about getting decent with the pen tool. And you'll probably notice here if you're watching this video, you're like, he's being a slob. Yeah, I'm being a little bit of a slob right now because I don't really care about these little flowery areas. I don't think they're going to make a big difference in the long run. You might wonder, in this situation, should I draw the other shape here? I'm not going to. I'm going to use this trick I know. Go to Object, Path, and Offset Path. Okay, Object, Path, and Offset Path, and make a... take the offset. You can do a negative or positive. I'm doing a... How about a 5 offset? Yeah, that looks pretty good. So check this out, check this out. Again, the shape builder tool is going to come in handy. I use that thing to death. I'm going to select these shapes right here, press Shift M, and cut this out. Wait, careful when you're cutting this stuff out. Don't make the mistake I just did. Don't click on the lines, click on the fills. Click on the lines, that's going to cause you problems. But this should be a shape all by itself now, and this will be a shape all by itself now. You're seeing a little bit of overlap right there, but that's only because the stroke is turned on. Once the stroke is turned off, that's not going to happen anymore. And I'm quickly going to do this area over here. There we go. Working my way around. Notice I'm being a little sloppy because I don't think anybody's really going to pay attention to his pants. When you're working with characters like this, don't get too obsessive. on the little tiny details like this because of the fact that really you want to get the face right, but this is not something to obsess over. Once again, object, path, offset. Notice I made sure to overlap these shapes out here. That's really important. That overlap is what I can use to cut things out. In fact, I want to make sure this overlap is complete because if it's not 100% complete, you will have problems. And again, object, path, offset path, and there we go. Perfect. So again, Shift M. This is like a mess right here, but still, all I have to do is select the two shapes I want to cut away from. Actually, the three shapes. These shapes here, right? Press Shift M and click on the fills and cut these sections out. And isn't that amazing? Tell me that's not amazing. Tell me your mind isn't blown. So this is really how you would take care of the whole character. You would just kind of keep going. I just focused on his pants for some reason. I don't know why. And now watch this. I'll bring the stroke to the front. Let's go ahead and start filling this in. There we go. There's the black background. I know that this is black as well. Pressing X to bring the fill to the front. There we go. Now for the color of the pants, I wasn't smart enough to save off swatches for his pants right there. So watch this. I'm going to just draw a couple little boxes. This is a method of mine. Yes, you could use the swatches panel, but I like this method. I'm going to just create a couple of swatches right here for Patrick right there. And I'll press the I key for the eyedropper and start eyedropping these colors. Isn't this cool? So you select the box you want to apply the color to, press I, or go over here and find the eyedropper somewhere in there. There it is. And click. I want this purple color, and over here, same thing. And that color doesn't look right to me. Let me get closer. I don't like that. Watch this. I'm going to select this color right here, this purple, and go in my color picker and just make a darker shade like that. That's something I do a lot. I don't know. I'm a color nerd. I'm not thinking I'm going to do his whole body, but I might as well just show you how I might do this. I would make a copy. I'm pressing Alt, by the way, to make copies of these boxes. And in this case, again, I would just, rather than even go up there and find this color, I would just make a darker color like that. And that should look pretty good. And there's the colors for him right there. No problem. And here we go. Let's select this guy. Right? Use the eyedropper, which I do all the time, and we'll find that there's the color of his shorts. And we'll hold down Shift and select these two guys right here. This guy and this guy. And go press the I key. And then go over here and pick that light purple. And then right here, select these two. I key, select that darker purple. Oh yes, turn it out. Now this needs to overlap. So watch this, I'll arrange and bring this to the front. There we have it. And then we select that guy, press the I key, and there we go. And there we go. We have his shorts. And if we see spots here that look a little weird to us, you know, like that's still bothering me right there. I mean, you could come back and try to address it. It's no problem. But really, it's not super important. I'll tell you that much. In the grand scheme of life, no one cares that much about this. Yes, there's probably better ways to do this, but I'm pretty happy with that. And that's basically the process that you go through for all of them. Now, I could sit here and make a huge, gigantic video, but I think I'll just stick with the pants here, and maybe I'll make another one for the rest of them later. I'm going to give you this video, and I'm going to give you a reference, so if you want to finish him for practice, feel free. This is just our in-class lab for this week. You may or may not be submitting this for a grade, depending on what I'm doing that week. But I hope you have fun building this character. I'll also throw in, and I have thrown in SpongeBob and Mr. Krabs, whose first name happens to be Eugene. I don't know, fourth graders find it funny. I figured why not share it with you. It's a long story behind the fourth grader story, but not really. I taught a class and they called me Mr. Krabs, and they called me Patrick, and I didn't understand for a while, and then I was like, oh yeah, my name's Eugene Starr, Eugene Krabs, Patrick Starr. Haha, really funny kids. Alright, well I hope you enjoyed this video and that you learned something, and have a good day now.